Hello viewers. Welcome to Seek Wisdom. First of all, we would like to thank you for playing out this video. Welcome back to the third video on the summary of the book, The 48 Laws of Power, written by Robert Greene. This part briefs Law 25 to 36. You can access first and second part from the link above. Let's get started. Here comes 25th Law, recreate yourself. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. The world wants to assign you a role in life. And once you accept that role, you are doomed. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Remake yourself into a character of power. Working on yourself like clay should be one of your greatest and most pleasurable life tasks. The first step in the process of self-creation is being aware of yourself and taking control of your appearances and emotions. The second step is the creation of a memorable character that compels attention and stands above the others on the stage. Law 26 says, keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and catspaws to disguise your involvement. Regarding taking scapegoat, it is often wise to choose the most innocent victim possible as a sacrificial goat. Be careful, however, not to create a martyr. A close associate is often the best choice, the fall of the favorite. Regarding use of cat's paws, use those around you to complete dirty tasks to hide your intentions and accomplish your goals while keeping your hands clean. An essential element in this strategy is concealing your goal. Law 27, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise, emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples rituals to perform, ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you untold power. Here are 5 rules of cult making. Keep it vague, keep it simple. Emphasize the visual and sensational over the intellectual. Borrow the forms of organized religion to structure the group. Disguise your source of income. Set up an as them dynamic. Coming to 28th Law, enter action with boldness. When you are as small and obscure as David was, you must find a Goliath to attack. The larger the target, the more attention you gain. Consequently, you shouldn't choose a course of action half-heartedly. Your doubts will become apparent and will tarnish your reputation. It's always better to act boldly. Any mistakes made are easily compensated by acting even more audaciously. Everyone admires the bold, no one honors the timid. Few are born bold. It's a habit that needs to be cultivated. It must be practiced. Likewise, timidity is also a learned trait. If you find yourself acting timidly, you must root this out and replace it with acts of boldness instead. Keep in mind, lions circle the hesitant prey. Law 29 says, plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances and you will know when to stop. Most people are too trapped by their emotions in the moment to see ahead, so this will give you the upper hand. Plan in detail before you act, and don't succumb to making any vague plans. Coming to 30th Law, make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks, must be concealed. When you act, act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work, it only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks or they will be used against you. The more mysterious your actions appear, the greater your power appears to be. It will make it seem as if you have an exclusive gift that no one can replicate and that knows no limits. Law 31, control the options, get others to play with the cards you deal. By giving your opponents a choice, they will feel that they're controlling their destiny. What they won't realize is that you're using them as a puppet to choose between 2 scenarios, both of which serve you. When given a choice between two possibilities, people rarely consider all the other potential options that could be on the table. Instead, they blindly choose to believe they have autonomy in their decision-making. Too much freedom creates anxiety. By setting up a narrow range of choices, you can guide your opponent to play right into your hands. The following are among the most common forms of controlling the options. Color the choices, propose multiple solutions, but present the preferred one in the best light compared to the others. Excellent device for the insecure master. Force the resistor. This is a good technique to use on children and other willful people who enjoy doing the opposite of what you ask them to. Push them to choose what you want them to do by appearing to advocate the opposite. Alter the playing field. In this tactic, your opponents know their hand is being forced, but it doesn't matter. The technique is effective against those who resist at all costs. The shrinking options, a variation on this technique, is to raise the price every time the buyer hesitates and another day goes by. This is an excellent negotiating ploy to use on the chronically indecisive, who will fall for the idea that they're getting a better deal today than if they wait till tomorrow. The weak man on the precipice, he would describe all sorts of dangers, exaggerating them as much as possible, until the dukes are a yawning abyss in every direction except one. The one Retz was pushing him to take. This tactic is similar to color the choices, but with the weak you have to be more aggressive. Work on their emotions, use fear and terror to propel them into action. Try reason and they will always find a way to procrastinate. Brothers in crime, this is a classic con artist technique. You attract your victims to some criminal scheme, creating a bond of blood and guilt between you. They participate in your deception, commit a crime, and are easily manipulated. It is often wise to implicate in your deceptions the very person who can do you the most harm if you fail. Their involvement can be subtle. Even a hint of their involvement will narrow their options and buy their silence. The horns of a dilemma. This is a classic trial lawyer's technique. The lawyer leads the witnesses to decide between two possible explanations of an event, both of which poke a hole in their story. They have to answer the lawyer's questions, but whatever they say, they hurt themselves. The key to this move is to strike quickly, deny the victim the time to think of an escape. As they wriggle between the horns of the dilemma, they dig their own grave. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. People rarely believe that their problems arise from their own misdeeds and stupidity. Someone or something out there is to blame, and so salvation comes from the outside as well. As the truth is often ugly, if you appeal to it, you risk being bombarded with the anger of disenchantment. Instead, by tapping into the fantasies of the masses, people will flock to you as you offer an alternative to the disillusionment of reality. By observing which aspects of everyday life are most abhorred, you can conjure up fantasies that promise the opposite of people's current realities and thus wield a phenomenal power. Here comes Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. How to find weaknesses. Instances when they behave like a child, which indicate some unresolved trauma in childhood. Contrasts, as an overt trait often conceals its opposite. The weak link, which is often someone behind the scenes controlling their behavior. Ways to fill the void of their insecurity or unhappiness to wield significant power. How to encourage their uncontrollable emotion, as they won't be able to control themselves, and you can do the controlling for them. Always look for passions and obsessions that cannot be controlled. The stronger the passion, the more vulnerable the person. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you present yourself to the world will reflect how others see and treat you. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. Carry yourself with self-respect, confidence, and dignity to make it seem like you were destined for power. Believe you are destined for greatness, and this belief will radiate outwards, and others will believe it, too. Ask for less, and that is exactly what you'll get. Here's some strategies to help. The Columbus strategy: always make a bold demand. Set your price high and do not waver. The David and Goliath strategy: go after the highest person in the building. This immediately puts you on the same plane as the chief executive you are attacking. The patron strategy: give a gift of some sort to those above you. Law 35, master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry, as hurrying betrays a lack of control over yourself and over time. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet ripe, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. 3 types of time and how to deal with them. Long time: be patient, control your emotions, and take advantage of opportunities when they arise. You will gain long-term perspective and see further in the future. Force time: the trick in forcing time is to upset the timing of others, to make them hurry, make them wait, make them abandon their own pace. Use the deadline, apply sudden pressure, change pace to use this. End time: patience is useless unless combined with a willingness to act decisively at the right moment. Use speed to paralyze your opponents, cover any mistakes, and impress people with your aura of authority and finality. Law 36, disdain things you cannot have, ignoring them is the best revenge. Remember, you choose to let things bother you. You can just as easily choose not to notice the irritating offender, to consider the matter trivial and unworthy of your interest. That is the powerful move. Uncontrollable desire makes you seem weak, unworthy, pathetic. An enemy: the stronger you make him, and a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there is something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interest you reveal, the more superior you seem. Here finishes this video. We shall back soon with the last part. Thank you for your patience. Be happy, be safe.